Good afternoon and welcome to Let's Talk Tuesday. My name is Ramona Chapman. I am the Community Outreach Manager at Gift of Life Michigan and MOTEP Director. And I am excited today that we are able here to come together and talk about a campaign that began a little over a year ago entitled Let's Talk. I have three wonderful guests that are joining me today, Amy, Mustafa, and Jerome. And I'm excited to have them all on there. So before I kind of
Hello,
come to
hello
Amy,
everybody.
say hello, give me some energy back.
Woo
Okay.
woo! Hola,
Okay.
Hello,
hola.
hello.
So I would just like to talk to you.
Salam alaikum to the Muslim community, the Middle East community.
Thank you, Mustafa. I would just like to really, again, to really say thank you to the three of you. We began this campaign last over a year ago, May 23rd, 2019, before COVID-19. And it was a campaign to really engage the Arab American, the Latinx, and Arab American communities to become more involved in our conversation about organ and tissue donation. And become involved, you did. As a result, last year at Gift of Life Michigan, we had a record year of organ donors, over 340 organ donors. We had a record year of tissue donors, almost 50, over 1,500 tissue
Woo!
donors.
Yeah.
And again, it's because we have the conversation and we've kept the conversation going. And so rather than me to tell everyone about you, I'd like for you to share a little bit about you because each of you all were featured in our Let's Talk campaign. So, Amy, I'm going to start with you. Why don't you tell us a little bit about you and the role that you have played in Let's Talk?
Well, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you.
Okay. So my name is Amy Cruz. I am Puerto Rican. I'm a Latina, very proud. I had my first transplant in 1992 at the University of Michigan Medical Center. Um, it's a long story, so I'll try to make it short. But 5 years after that, I had my daughter. She is a miracle. She's 22 years old now. So because somebody was able to donate and give me another chance at life, I was able to bring another life into this world. So it's blessings all over the place. So after that, I got a little sick, and they determined that I had to have a second transplant. My second transplant was in 2002, July of 2002. And years went by, everything was great, and then I got sick again. And it's really like I feel so blessed just because of everything I've been through, and every single situation has taught me so much. And this is the reason why I give back, because I've been given so many opportunities at life that it's my duty to give back. But my third and last transplant was in February of 2016, 4 years ago, and it was another miracle because I was given the blessing to go in peace, and I made peace with that, and I was ready to go. But a miracle happened, and here I am. So it's my job. It's my job to give back, to educate our communities, to let my people know what they can do, how they can take care of themselves.
Okay. And Amy, sometimes in
I don't know what
the
else.
well, I'm going to help you out here. Sometimes in our communities, and sometimes we've heard in the Latinx community that people are just unsure about organ and tissue donation. And sometimes they don't think that maybe that their faith supports organ and tissue donation. So how can you just again share with us a message? Because again, this is a conversation about let's talk to the community about the importance of organ and tissue.
Well, I mean, during every like I've said many times before, every single experience has been different. But with every experience, I have met more people. I have shared my story with so many people, and I've been able to change some minds and let them know that, especially in our community with the health issues that we have, that we're born with, that are passed on to us, um, we have to be aware of how we can take care of ourselves, and if we're not able to, what options we have out there.
Okay.
So there might be family member that might get sick, and just letting them know that there are options and that you can save a life.
Okay. Okay. Thanks so much. Thanks so much, Amy. You are correct. And you used a word that I think is very important. You know, you kept saying that it was a miracle. And it's a miracle that you're still here. It's a miracle that you continue to share your story and share your experience. And so we're excited that you're a part of Let's Talk. And I know I'll come back to you. The next person is Jerome Espy. Jerome, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, hey, I'm so happy to be here. My name is Jerome Espy, and I actually got connected to Gift of Life and to MOTEP before I actually received my kidney. I was invited to, or I actually asked to come to an event at MOTEP, and I ran into Ramona, and so I had just found out that I was going to have to get a kidney. And you know, the journey of getting a kidney is unique to each and every person. Every person that has a transplant has their own unique story, and so I'm no different as far as that's concerned. But I got interested in giving back even before I actually needed to get the kidney. And just like Amy, my story is long too, but I'm going to abbreviate it quite a bit. But April 10th of 2018, I was invited to a birthday party, and I was in the middle of dialysis, feeling horrible. And I decided, I was talking to my wife, and I wasn't sure I was going to go to this event, but I did go. And I happened to be sitting, I got sat next to a friend of mine. His name is Tiger Whitehead. And we had been looking for a donor, and didn't really have any success as far as that was concerned. But I went to this event sitting next to Tiger, and without a heartbeat, I told him what was going on. I was feeling bad that day. And he said, without hesitation, he said, if I'm a match, I'd give you a kidney. And after I got over the shock, you know, I almost fell out of my chair. And a lot of people had said they would help, but he was the one that followed through. And so that next Monday, this was a Saturday, that next Monday he went and applied to get tested. And then fast forward to December 12th of 2018, I received my kidney. And so, you know, now I'm doing much better, and I'm grateful. Mustafa and Amy and I were talking the other day, and I don't have bad days anymore.
Right.
I don't get the right.
We are blessed, aren't we?
We are blessed. We are so blessed. And so I'm just so excited to be able to give back. So you know, now I'm on the MOTEP board, and I'm thrilled and honored to do that. I'm a mentor at U of M. Oh yeah, and my kidney, the transplant took place at U of M Hospital. And I'm a Spartan by sport, but I'm blue, but I'm all the way blue.
I think you're a U of M by everything.
Okay.
I know. So, you know, a house divided is within me, but I'm very excited. But you know, I believe blue as far as the transplant is concerned. Those people are amazing. Anybody that works in this space is amazing. So I'm just honored to be able to mentor, you know, talk to people. The online community has been invaluable to me too. You know, aside from the folks at MOTEP, I've got friends online on Instagram, people that like a couple of fraternity brothers of mine, Robert, and then also Vern Townsend, that are one of Robert has received his kidney. Vern is waiting for his kidney. But it's just it's a process, and so I love talking to people, loving getting a chance, especially in our community, because there's so much misinformation that takes place about kidney and around any kind of a transplant. But it's amazing. So if you have the chance, if anybody out there had the chance to save over 60 lives, would you do it? That's a simple question. And you do. You have that opportunity. So you know, we encourage you. I know I encourage you to get on the donor registry, do everything you can to get educated. But even before that, before you get to the stage where all of us are, you know, do as much as you can to take care of your health. Be preventative. So if the doctor says don't eat that, don't eat it. If the doctor says exercise, how about go exercise? And then you don't end up on this side. But I'm very grateful, and I could ramble on for a long time, so I'll stop there.
Okay, that's okay, because I'm going to come back to that when you mentioned about, again, an online community. And again, once again, this, you know, let's talk. We're talking virtually, but as you know, we love to talk together. And you mentioned your fraternity brothers, and that's something that we've also tried to reach out with within, especially within the African American community, to have more people involved with the with our initiative to save and enhance lives through organ and tissue donation. And I know that the Greek organizations have been very involved in that. So I'll come back to you in a second and have you talk about that. But I'll come on down now to Mr. Mustafa.
Yeah,
He's
Mustafa.
keeping the conversation moving. Looks like he's in his car. So Mustafa,
Well,
kind of
I'm always
kind
on
of
the
share a
go.
little bit
Go,
with
go,
us.
go. Thank you, Amy and Jerome, for sharing your story. I've learned a lot, and I appreciate that. Ramona, thank you for all the hard work you do. It never goes unnoticed. You are a blessing, and I would say about 90% of what I do is because of you, because
Oh
you
wow.
really guide and lead and inspire, I think, thousands, if not millions of people across Michigan and I would almost say the United States, the great job that you do. Let me start by saying my name is Mustafa Sharafi. I am 35 years old. I'll start at the top. I was told I have 2 hours to give a speech, but I'll narrow it down to about 35 minutes. How does that sound? Is that okay, Ramona? 35 minutes?
Oh my goodness.
My parents,
That's why all those compliments came. Okay, come on, Mustafa.
my parents migrated here from the Middle East in the early 70s. They had a an older daughter that had the same disease that I had, which is tyrosinemia. My tyrosinemia is a hereditary disease. It's an amino acid that's broken down by the liver, and unfortunately for me and my older sister, that didn't happen. And at the time, in the 70s and the 80s, um, there wasn't as much, the education and technology was not as advanced. So unfortunately, she had passed away at the age of 4 years old. Well, then came my other sister, and she was healthy. My sister that's alive today is 37 years old. She's perfectly fine. Then I came, and I had obviously tyrosinemia, so they knew right off the bat that I needed a liver transplant from the start. So to say almost 35, September 28th, 1985, is when I had my transplant. Here I am today, like I said, 35 years later, blessed, healthy, the one and only transplant I've ever had. Keeps me going every day. And because of that, now I've got a 2 year old son. So thank you to the many organ tissue donors out there who are on a daily grind educating the public on becoming organ donors. It's been a rough journey, not from a transplant perspective. My liver is very healthy, but from other medical illnesses that I've had throughout the journey due to the cyclosporin. My whole purpose of being on Let's Talk Tuesday is to educate not just the Middle Easterns, because I am obviously Middle Eastern, Arab American, Muslim, born and raised right here in the heart of Detroit. I had my transplant in St. Louis, Missouri, because at the time, pediatric liver transplants weren't done here in Michigan. However, today in 2020, they are doing transplant, liver transplant, pediatric recipients right here in Michigan. So I want the general public to know that technology is advanced, information is advanced, education has advanced. We are here to help, guide, and lead and teach everybody and anybody that's looking for information, despite your religion, your beliefs, your ethnicity. If if my parents didn't migrate here to the United States, I don't think I would be alive today to be talking about my story right here, right now. I want everybody to know how blessed I am to be here in the United States and have had a transplant from the age of 3 months old. To be able to see people, talk to people, hear people, educate people, give people inspiration about signing up to be organ donors. I understand it is scary. It might be one of the biggest decisions possibly before buying a house, because I know houses are expensive. However, you're more than welcome to reach out to any recipient and have that conversation with them, because it is very important to understand the importance of becoming an organ donor, as well as helping other people live a life after giving up, you know, being an organ donor. My donor was 3 months of age. I'm sorry, 6 months of age when he passed away. And when I met that family, let me tell you guys that we did not stop crying. We did not stop crying. It was heartfelt. It was so many high emotions for 8 hours, and that was on my wedding day.
Mhm.
And I'll never forget that day, guys. I will never forget that day. And I stay in contact with him every week. I talk to him, and we actually have the same political views, which is even better. Come to find out.
Okay.
So thank you to everybody that's tuned in. Thank you to everybody that's listening. Thank you to people that are gonna watch this and be inspired by the three of us, and hopefully many more Let's Talk Tuesdays and other recipients out there.
Well, I am sure, and thank you so much, Mustafa, for sharing that story. And again, we are going to have other Let's Talk Tuesdays. One of the great things about this campaign is that this campaign continues to engage in conversation. So all three of you are featured on our landing pages at Gift of Life Mission, going to golm.org/Let's Talk. One of the things that we heard, and one of the things that was really important for us in this particular campaign, is that we did focus groups in the community. And so the focus groups told us that they wanted to have information about the process, and we have been able to provide a video about the process. Again, they said that they wanted to see people in the community and hear people in the community. They wanted to get information in their own languages. And so we definitely have been listening, because again, this is a dialogue about Let's Talk. And so we have been sharing information. So with that, I'm going to take it back to Amy, because I know that we have a video that also features you. And so Amy, tell us a little bit more about your story, and again, why it's so important for people in the Latinx community to participate in Let's Talk.
Well, I mean, in my community, we are so spiritual. And sometimes it's a good thing, but sometimes religion does get in the way. So it's good to be educated and good to kind of, I guess, get permission from your spiritual leaders. And there are many beautiful videos out there that I've seen that have touched me, that I'm sure will put some things into perspective in regards to, why we should consider this.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I mean, my story is a long, arduous one. I have many reasons why I had to have my transplants, and I'm going to say something in Spanish. Si alguien una pregunta, por favor, siéntanse cómodos de hablar conmigo. Estoy disponible a hablar de cualquier cosa. I just said that if anybody has any questions and wants to get in touch with me and wants more information on my story and what I went through, I'm more than happy to be open to talk about it. And sometimes with me, I get very personal and I love to connect with people. So my one-on-one connection, it just like works perfect for me. So a little bit more personal, because sometimes these are very difficult questions.
Yes.
And it's hard to talk about life and death. Yes. So we have to be more comfortable to talk about it, because we never know when it could happen to us or one of our loved ones.
Yes. Yeah. I agree, Amy. And you just used a word that I think is really so important about when you use that word connection. And I think one of the things that, again, that we're so excited about our Let's Talk campaign now being virtual is that there is a connectivity that is so important. There's a connectivity of community. There is a connectivity of our shared life space. There's a connectivity of love and air and everything that we come together and we do. And so I'm excited that you were able to share that information in Spanish to let people know that they can connect with you and that they can also talk with you about that. And so, Jerome, talk about connectivity. Again, we're going to take you back to that Divine Nine. How can the Divine Nine participate with us more in Let's Talk?
Well, you know, the creeds and the sayings of all of the Divine Nine and the commitment of the Divine Nine. That's the 9 organizations, predominantly African American, Greek organizations. It's all about service, and it's all about giving back. It's all about being a part of the community. If you look at what's happening in our nation right now, many of the all of, I won't even say many, all of the organizations are out there participating and making things happen and making things change. And so this effort is not anything different. We are the leaders, and it's not saying anything arrogantly, but you know, we tend to be those that are out front, making change, making movement, causing things to happen. And so this is something that happens in our community, through our community, to our community. And we just need more information on it. And so regardless of what organization you're in, you know, we can all benefit from being on the donor registry, from knowing about our own health, know our numbers. I'm really big on that. Know your numbers, listen to your doctor, listen to your doctors, and know your numbers. But as Greek organizations, whatever organization you're in, you've got to get involved. That's a part of our DNA. And it's a part of all of our DNAs in the community in general. But since we're singling out the Greek organizations, it's a part of our DNA. So do everything you can to spread the word. You know, talk to someone. You know, we're used to mentoring, we're used to communicating. So use the voice and the platform that we have to make a difference in someone else's life, because it's so vitally important. You know, I think, you know, you think about, you don't, as Amy's saying, you know, you don't want to get to the place where you need an organ and it's not there, because predominantly our communities of color are not the most active as far as getting on the list. And so it's very important. Like, for example, my donor is a wonderful Caucasian guy. He's a great guy, and I have the blessing of being able to talk to him 5 days a week. We're on a prayer call every morning. But,
Okay.
you know, so you don't have to be of the same race to donate or to receive. And so I think that's really important to stress as well.
Mm-hmm. 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 I would concur with that. And again, you know, please forgive me. I should have said happy belated Father's Day to both Jerome and Mustafa.
Thank
But,
you.
you know, Mustafa, as you said,
Thank you.
35 years, I've seen pictures of your gorgeous son. And one of the things that, again, you always speak to is that you're blessed and you were able to, become a father as a result of your liver transplant. But one of the things, again, that sometimes people have been reluctant in the Arab American, especially in the Muslim community, to sometimes feel as though religion has been an obstacle. And so one of the things, again, that Let's Talk does is it says, let's have conversations about that. So I'd like for you to kind of speak to that.
And you know what, Ramona, you're absolutely right. It's about doing what's right. Yes, religion is there at the forefront, but to me, it's about doing what's right, because, you know, if you're, and we've talked about this in the past, if your loved one needed a transplant, but you were saying it's against the religion, but yet you know that loved one needs a transplant, but you won't sign up to be an organ donor. It's doing the right thing, knowing that, you know, being an organ donor will save a life. So my question to the general Muslim population is, why is it okay for others to give, but we can't? I'm sorry. Why is it okay for others, the Arab Muslim community? Why is it okay for them to receive but not give? And I would like a solid answer on that, because this, again, despite the religion, it's doing what's right and becoming an organ donor. It's saving lives.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And again, that's what one of the things that's so excited. And again, we're going to have so much information on our Gift of Life landing pages about Let's Talk. We want you to always, come back and visit those pages. They'll be updated. We'll have those pages in various languages. But once again, we at Gift of Life, our core purpose is that we honor life through donation. And so we want you to know that we have listened to what the community has said that the community wants, and we are responding. And that's why we have these Let's Talk Tuesdays. That's why we've had this wonderful campaign that was last year in the community. This year is going to be virtual, but I love the online chats about the virtual community. So again, I'm going to come back to you, Amy. Share something else with me that, if there's a message that you would like to send out to the Latinx community today, what is that message?
Well, we've now with everything that's going on, in the end, no matter what has to do, we have to unite. We have to stick together. We have to help each other out. And like Jerome was saying, pass it forward.
Mm-hmm.
Learn to share experiences with each other. Don't be scared, because you never know what somebody has been through, but they might have gone through the same thing you went through. And that's one way to connect. I mean, there's so much I want to say, but there's so much time.
I agree.
Just love on one another. We all have a purpose here. We all are here for a reason. Just remember that. Keep that in mind. And like I said, you never know what somebody's been through. Be kind. Be generous. Be generous with everything. Like when I go, I want everything to be used if it's usable.
Agreed.
Yeah. I love what you said about be kind. And one of the things about this that we also have shared during this particular time is that, for those persons sometimes have been reluctant to wear a mask, that you're not really always just wearing a mask for you. You're wearing it for other people. And I know for me, knowing that all three of you are recipients, that it's a responsibility and an honor for me to wear a mask, because we want to always protect each other and care for each other. So I kind of want you to talk to me about some of the experiences that you felt and thought about in the midst of this pandemic that we're in.
Me?
Anyone?
Oh.
Well, I'll speak first.
Okay.
I work at the hospital. I'm sorry. I work at the hospital and work on a pediatric cancer unit. So there are so many reasons to use masks. I'm at work right now. I'm at lunch right now. But, I've seen skeptics even here. And it's just like, just believe and be kind and be considerate to those who, like us, who have immunocompromised systems.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, no,
no, you're good. No, you took the words out of my mouth. You said it exactly. I was too skeptical, and I was actually a little bit naive of the whole virus until I researched it, and but taking further precautions, knowing that I'm a transplant recipient, I quarantined for 60 days.
Wow.
I didn't leave for 60 days, knowing that if I got in contact with anybody that had COVID or didn't know that they had COVID, that I would probably pretty much be done. So yes, I'm thankful that everybody's wearing masks. And
as transplant recipients, we're used to being very careful who we surround ourselves with.
Right.
So it's been a little bit easier for us.
Yeah, we don't look so strange now. Now we look like everybody looks like us.
Now the norm.
Everybody's got hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
Everybody's Lysoling a seat. Everybody's doing it now.
Well, again, I think that this particular pandemic hopefully made all of us more sensitive, just like you said, to experiences that you've had. But once again, as we continue to talk about Let's Talk, especially in this virtual space, when we really can't see each other, what are some messages that you think that are just going to be totally exciting for us to now promote online?
The fact that I was given a second chance at life through a stranger, to now be able, up till today, to have a 2-year-old son, and to be alive, to be able to see him, and it's just a gift. It's a blessing.
It doesn't telling you, when you have a child after a transplant, it gives you more purpose. Children do amazing things to you.
Okay. Okay.
I look at my 2-year-old like, if I wasn't alive today, I wouldn't be blessed with what such a cute, handsome 2-year-old son and growing.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. So once again, I know that like I said, we had a record year last year. We had dialogue circles in the community. You all attended the dialogue circles, and what we know is that we want to keep this conversation going, and that's the exciting thing about this particular the name of the campaign. Let's talk. So and speaking of let's talk, have either of you, I know Jerome, you know your donor. Let's talk about your writing to your donor families or connecting with your donor families.
I didn't meet anybody. My second transplant, I received a letter from a gentleman.
Okay.
It was his sister's liver. And that was the most amazing thing for me. Unfortunately, I have not been able to meet. And I feel like if I ever do, I'll never let go.
Okay.
They would be my family. They'd be a part of me. I'm sorry, I'm about to start crying here.
That's okay. Crying is good.
Yeah.
Crying is good.
It's almost like I feel like I need to meet them, because even though throughout life we lose so much, we gain so much by meeting new people and having received the gifts that continue to give. Because my gift has given me the most beautiful daughter.
Yes.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think those are those things that we talk about, that we want to make sure that message gets out in the community, that when one person gets an organ, I think Jerome said, if someone asked you if you wanted to change and enhance the lives of over 60 people, it's really, if you want to change and enhance the lives of 83 people, why wouldn't you do that? And not only, Amy, you talked about getting a transplant, and now, becoming a mother, and think about all of the people that your daughter has impacted. And Mustafa, I know that your son will definitely impact a lot of people. Jerome, I know that, you sharing your story. So again, this gift is not just a gift that just changes you personally, but it changes your family. It changes the community. Kind of talk to me about that experience.
Well, I know for me, it's changed just how I move about the world, and just any chance I get to encourage someone to join the registry, or to just reaching out, just by talking in different places. People reach out and say, either they have someone that is needing an organ, or they need it themselves. And so by just sharing the story, it opens up to more people who need. Like, I have a close friend of mine, who just 2 weeks ago got a heart. Name is Lakeisha Doolin, and she's still at U of M Hospital right now. And so prayers to her. She's just amazing. She got a heart. She was amazing before she got the heart, but she's even more amazing now. And so, so it's just, and I knew her before the whole transplant thing, but there's just so many people. And even looking at the chat, and like I've got Dawn Cool, her husband got a double lung transplant 9 months ago. We got Glenn on here, who just got a kidney transplant 2 years ago. I mean, so it's just so inspiring to be able to be on and to connect with people that are sharing the journey.
Okay.
To everybody out there watching this, I want you guys, to the Middle Eastern community, I want you guys to keep on educating yourselves about organ and tissue donation. Don't be scared. Do what's right. Know that, doctors and nurses, as far out advanced as we are today, will make sure that your life will be saved in every way possible before they do anything.
Yes.
To get those organs. I promise you guys, there's so much advancements. When I reached out to my donor family, my file was so microchipped, like minute. When I tried to reach out to them, But thankfully, my mom beat me upside the head to keep on going after it and going after it, because I gave up after the 10th time. Because St. Louis, Missouri, it's not the closest hospital to be able to walk into and say, hey, can I get my files? I
Right.
had to call after call after call. And, finally, the Gift of Life out there reached out to me and said, you know what? I think we might have some luck. You can try emailing this family. And sure enough, I emailed the father. And sure enough, we connected. And like I said, it's an emotion that you can never imagine, ever imagine in your life, to be able to connect on that level with them. And thankfully, I stood my grounds and kept going at it till I reached the Father.
Okay.
So let's come together, to the Middle Eastern community, to the Arab community, to the Chaldean community. Let's come together and come up and be able to educate the public on how the importance of organ donation is, and it's the greatest thing to do, and how we can help save lives at the end of the
And
day.
also say
Oh.
for your community.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to, but I'm willing to talk to your community as well. One of my best friends.
Oh,
Okay.
The younger community, the
So,
younger gener.
go ahead.
I'll give credit to the younger generation. They're doing great at it. I think we're well advanced. It's the much older population that we're trying to get at and educate and inform.
Okay.
And with the grace of God, inshallah, we will get there. Inshallah, with the grace of God.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Once again, I just want to thank the three of you for joining us here today on this Let's Talk Tuesday. What I know is that we'll be getting together soon. That once again, you can visit our website at golm.org/let's talk, and you can still see different stories and conversations with Jerome, with Amy, with Mustafa. And for those persons who are online, Jerome, sharing their stories, we invite them to become a part of our Let's Talk family, and let's make 2020 a record year of saving and enhancing lives through organ and tissue donation. So
And
on behalf of Gift of Life Michigan and our CEOs, Dory Dills, I'd just like to say thank you so much for joining us here today.
And thank you to all the doctors and nurses who are saving lives and who have
yes.
saved lives in the past,
Yes.
present, and the future to come.
Woo-hoo.
Yes, God
Bravo.
bless, God bless her. And Gift of Life Michigan. I love you guys. You guys are the best, the most compassionate, heartfelt community out there. I love you guys. I swear, I say that, guys. You should get in contact with Gift of Life. They're superior. They're educated. They're knowledgeable. They're the best. I'm telling you guys, hands down.
Yes.
Yes.
Don't
Yes.
just take my word for it. I'm not preaching. I'm not biased. I promise. I'm not getting paid for this. I am not endorsed at all.
You're not.
I just love them. Anybody that if from the day you start to get to know Gift of Life Michigan, I promise you'll fall in love the minute they say hi to you, even the word hi.
Yes. Yes. So once again, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Join us again for Let's Talk Tuesday. And please visit our landing pages, golm.org/let's talk. Have a great day.
Got it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.